coach of the year. This is honestly to me like probably so here are the odds. I looked them up before we came on. Sirianni, to my surprise, is the favorite at -175.
Yeah.
Then you have Shanahan at +300, Doug Peterson at +900, Daboll at +1600, Dan Campbell +2,000, O'Connell drops to 4,000. Then you got Saleh, which he fell out when they missed the playoffs at like 10,000.
Well, I think like the people's choice has to be Doug Peterson. What he did, who are they going to give it to? It's going to be Sirianni, but I don't think he deserves it. Like that team's just stacked. Like we knew what we were getting out of him. I'm going to go with Campbell. Just the statement. I mean, that franchise, what they did, and I mean, everybody bought into him, and he was so close to like if the Rams would have pulled it off, he'd be in the playoffs right now, and I think we'd be in a little bit different story. His odds would be a little bit higher, but give me Campbell.
The guy I was thinking was Pete Carroll. How the hell is he not in that top whatever I just listed? Like to me, that's insane.
Yeah.
Jay, how about you?
I'm going with Dougie P, man. You have a team that picked first the last 2 years and they're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. Not to mention how bad Urban Meyer was this year, how much of like a cancer he was. Dude, Dougie P is the man. I will say this to Nick Sirianni. I hate him. He had a loaded roster. Cool. I didn't pick KOC, even though I'm a huge Vikings fan. Yeah. KOC had a loaded roster. Daboll, like, not cool. I think you're right. He got a lot out of Daniel Jones. I'm not overly impressed. He's a very good coordinator. That team, I mean, they made the playoffs in the NFC. Hooray! But I don't know. I'm not as high on I'm not super high enough on Daboll where I'm like he's coach of the year.
You're dunking on my take right now.
So, you had Sirianni, F that guy.
No. yeah, it's Sirianni. I don't know how he's the favorite. I really don't. Sirianni makes no sense to me because that team made the playoffs last year. If he should have got coach of the year, it should have been last year when they were set to be like a 3-win team. So, and they didn't get worse on their roster. They added AJ Brown to their fucking team. So I don't know how he suddenly is, and when they met resistance, when Hurts was out, they lost. So I just don't really understand that. I honestly, even though he's the Vegas favorite, I still would be rather shocked, I think, if he does win it in the end. Shanahan, obviously, can make the argument just how they've handled all these injuries at quarterback and Debo and everything.
No, they're absolutely loaded. That's probably the best roster in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing team. I like the Peterson. I actually was going to go with Daboll. And the reasoning was Peterson and Daboll were going to be my two favorites. Peterson seems more likely, but my reasoning for Daboll would be he still made it to the playoffs with a team that was expected to be terrible in the best division in football. He didn't have to go through the worst division in the AFC to get a playoff seed. They earned it outright by getting the wild card. He got a lot out of Daniel Jones and really turned a team that was a one-dimensional offense into a little bit 1.5 dimensional offense, we'll say. Yeah. But I just think like the Giants' improvement was one of the more unexpected leaps this year. I mean, I think we all thought Jacksonville would be better with Peterson, not to the extent that they've been playing now, but New York really kind of caught me off guard with how much they improved. So Daboll, he's not perfect, but that would be my argument. But ultimately, I think Peterson might be the most.
It's funny. Those three guys that we chose were who like they were my top three, in that order, just because of what they did. And funny on the Jacksonville thing, I think it was week 3 of the podcast. I think they were sitting at like 2-1, and I'm like, do they have a chance of taking this division? And I don't know if I called the shot that Jacksonville would win their division, but I mean, it's just funny that turnaround that they had, and like they capitalized on every single game. So yeah, shout out to Dougie P, what he did there.
Dougie P,
really, really good coaches this year. I mean, it's actually probably the best award race.